However, the one point I would really like everybody to take away from this: do not GG before the game is totally over. I've seen that a couple of times in these fewer resources per base map, and I think it's really unfortunate. It's pretty obvious that the Protoss player was behind. He's at 72 food to 119. His army is considerably smaller. That's a large number of Ultralisks, so that's bad. But when you look at his supply, or I'm sorry, not at his supply, at his money, all of a sudden you see, he could have actually warped in a pretty good amount of stuff. Let's actually quickly count his warp gates. He has 5, 7, 9, 11 warp gates available to bring stuff in with. If he had gotten, say, one full round of Blink Stalkers and one full round of Zealots, probably spending all of his Chrono Boosts on those in an oh crap moment, he probably would have been able to hold this force off with some pretty good micro. He would have needed to have the Blink Stalkers really focusing on picking off the weakened Ultralisks and have sent his Zealots to go and kill off any Zerglings that are trying to deal with the Blink Stalkers, but it was possible. Ironman told me that Ironman was actually in this cast. As you can see, Ironman SC has left the game. He told me that the Protoss player Shakti had really kind of gotten himself mind-gamed. He'd become convinced that his Zerg opponent was far more ahead than he was, but as we look at Xeno's base, main, completely mined out. Natural, completely mined out. Third, about to be completely mined out. Fourth, doing pretty bad too. Pretty much as bad as the third. And the fifth, still pretty good. So he's at pretty much 2 mining bases when you put these two and this one together, but really only one of those is healthy and is going to be around for more than another minute or two. When we look at what Shakti has, this base is doing pretty well, this base is not doing that well, and this base is mined out. So once again, definitely behind, but he's only about half a base behind his opponent, with some good harass. If he was able to snipe this base, as an example, just get as many DTs as he could, or even just a bunch of Zealots, because he has a lot more minerals, kill this Spore Crawler if he's going for DTs, and kill this base, suddenly he's hugely ahead. He'll be getting way more money than his opponent, and can definitely make a comeback. The potential for making comebacks in these fewer resources per base Furby maps is a lot larger than ordinary StarCraft 2, because remacroing a big army after losing a big chunk of it, and the Zerg player did lose a lot holding off this attack, the number of Zerglings, actually I'll just rewind a little bit, goes down dramatically as he is attempting to hold this off. Let's look at the units tab. He's at 36 Zerglings and 6 Ultralisks, and as we play through this attack, there's 70 Zerglings, 66 Zerglings, 62, whoa, wow, there's only 25, there's only 16 Zerglings left, there are 7 Ultralisks left, but he lost almost all of his Zerglings. It's a huge part of his counterattack force, and just a generally good part of his army to have. So, the points that I would like everybody to take away from this analysis is, first, that Iron Man is awesome and that he totally kicks ass for making these maps for us, and everybody should thank him, send him PMs, send him some cake, send him some little thank you cards if you happen to know where he is. If you do know where he is, don't post that because that's creepy, but Iron Man, you rock. Thank you very much for making this map. I love it. I hope to see more games on it and play on it myself. When we're looking at the features of it, the way that you take your bases is very smart. You take your main is incredibly easy to defend. You take it the second the game starts. That's very good of every player. You get the Nexus on 0, which I like a lot. You take your natural quite easily. That's a very easy ramp to wall in. You take your third pretty easily. You need to be kind of smart about putting up some static defenses, like Shakti, the brilliant Protoss player in this game did, Shakti, the brilliant Protoss player in this game did. But it's not too hard to defend. There's pretty much 2 attack paths in. It's pretty straightforward. You know where you're going to be being hit from. Fourth, a little bit harder, because now all of a sudden there's pretty much 3 or 4 ways even into your base. And once you have the 5th one, you need to start playing very well if you're going to hold on to that very wide open space. Have a lot to watch out for. It can be easily spotted by an opponent who is keeping good control of the Xel'Naga watchtowers. So it very much rewards the extremely good players who will be able to take those later bases without punishing the players who are still trying to get their feet wet and learn these maps a little bit more and might not be as comfortable in what you need to do with splitting your army. The Xel'Naga towers are in fantastic position. They help you see the attack path on the left, the attack path on the right, and both of them help you see the attack path on the middle, but there's no single dominant Xel'Naga watchtower that you absolutely have to have control of to know if your opponent is moving out, but neither are they really useless against a lot of attacks that your opponent might be sending against you. The cut-in style attacks are critical on this map. That's by far my favorite part. By the way, I haven't said the name often enough. The name of this map is Crosspoint. I recommend everybody check it out. But the cut-in style attack, where you get your army into a neutral position and can set it either into the, say in this map, your natural or third, but you don't know where your opponent is trying to send their army before they've actually committed to it, lends a lot of strategy and just general depth to the game. Instead of, once again, I'm going to blast pour Shakura's Plateau. There's a single attack path right down the middle, and every single army that's going to move out must move through there. You're just straight up not allowed to attack any other way with anything but drop ships or knocking down really inconvenient and awkward rocks around the north and south. So, in this game in particular, I think that it showed some very interesting things that Zerg can do. Going for incredibly fast upgrades let him hold off attacks that really should have killed him when you got right down to it. If he didn't have those upgrades and instead maybe just had some more Zerglings, maybe some Roaches or something like that, with good micro, the Protoss player Shakti would have just killed him. Blink Stalkers against, say, Roaches instead of incredibly highly upgraded Zerglings would have been fantastic instead of, you know, eaten alive like we saw happen while defending the attacks in this game. The early Hive, yes, that's something I also thought was very interesting. Let him get the 3-3 incredibly quickly and just begin investing the time that he needed to invest to get those upgrades quite early. It also let him get the Ultralisk Cavern pretty quickly. He didn't rush to it. We've seen a 2-base Ultralisk rush in another Furby game, which was freaking amazing. That was so awesome to watch. But no, he didn't quite go for them that aggressively, but he still got the Ultras pretty quick and was able to do very good stuff with them, both on attack and defense. And the Zerg was behind in supply for almost the entire game, but the tech advantage was able to keep him alive. So I would love to see Zerg experimenting a little bit more with that, instead of just automatically assuming the Protoss will be ahead of me in tech and in upgrades all of the game, and I just have to outmass him. Say, no, if I do the right build order, I can be the person with the flashy units and the awesomely upgraded guys who I value a lot more because I have fewer of them. I don't have to just make weak Zerglings that die a lot. I can make awesome Zerglings that kill a lot. And then, finally, please, 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 to everybody who watches this cast, stay in the game. We just don't know enough about how Furby games go yet. It's too early to say that just because your opponent has something of an advantage, that, oh, I'm totally dead, there's no way I'm going to be able to recover from this, like you might be able to in a vanilla game of StarCraft 2. So, stay in the game, fight it out, go team fighting, hua! And anyway, that is the end of this analysis. If you're interested in playing games like this, check out channel 7M on both North America and Europe. There's a really, really great community there of people. There are King of the Hills going on almost nightly. There are a lot of people who have more experience on these maps and who would love to teach you about the strategies that work very well and all of that other cool stuff. For me, at least, it has really lent to making StarCraft 2 not feel like a ghost town anymore, because there's actually a channel of interested people who are interested in things that I also enjoy, that I can hang out and talk to instead of signing in, doing some ladder, and signing out. So if for no other reason than that, even if you have no interest in playing Furby and you just want to talk to some people who are really cool, check out channel 7M. It is pretty much the place to be on StarCraft 2 right now. Also, if you want to check out this map in particular, it is Crosspoint by Ironman. And if you want to find it in the custom games menu, check out, sorry, checking my notes real quick. It's called 6M Crosspoint. So just type in 6M. It should be one of the first results, or type in just 6M with Crosspoint after it, and it will get you to where you want to go. You can play awesome games on this. Send me replays if it is a very good game. Check out, the email that you would want to send that to is wiseoldsenex@gmail.com. That's an open call out to everybody who has great replays. I would love to cast more of these games, and I'm just looking for the best games that everybody has to offer. So, again, thanks to... Sorry, I didn't even notice this Bailey nest. That's really interesting. As you look around the game after you have pretty much stopped the main cast, you start noticing kind of odd things, like, wow, that's a lot of idle workers and other things like that, but sorry, getting distracted. If you want to check out more games like this, check out my channel. If you are watching this, you're probably already there, but if not, it is www.youtube.com/wiseoldsenex. I am pretty much devoting all of my time to promoting Furby maps at the moment, but we'll potentially be doing more StarCraft 2 related stuff in the future. However, at the moment, Furby is awesome and is the main reason why I'm having so much fun with StarCraft 2, and I would I highly, highly recommend that everybody just check out the movement, check out my channel, check out the cast, go out and play some games. But anyway, I have rambled for long enough. Peace out, everybody, and good